What's good, YouTube and Twitch family? It's your boy Tornado McCray back at it again with another video. I'm live streaming right now. This will be up on YouTube later today. And it's ESPN Wednesday. Y'all know how we get down. It's always something to talk about in the sports world on Wednesdays. And apparently, Micah Parsons and Stephen A got into it, got a little heated in an interview Stephen A did with Micah Parsons. I don't know much about it. I saw a clip of it. So we're not going to watch the whole interview because, one, I'm not trying to give the Dallas Cowboys more knowledge than what it's worth, but we miss football. We like good content. It's Stephen A and Micah Parsons, Dallas Cowboy content. I feel like it's going to be pretty fun. So let's go ahead and check that out, see what's going on over here. I want to honestly see what's being said and what's being talked about.
Now, I want to know why Dak shouldn't have been MVP. Why he should have been MVP.
Excuse me? Are you asking me? Dak Prescott the MVP?
Yeah.
Why? First of all, let me tell you this. First of all.
Yo, you know what's crazy?
I was an MVP candidate. I did. True.
No, I believe it.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying, y'all talk about numbers and...
Not just numbers. I talk about level of competition. Y'all were beating up on last place teams all year.
I'm
Who was last place? Eagles was last place?
No.
Eagles had a...
I didn't mean Eagles. Giants, Patriots, don't get me started with y'all schedule.
Patriots fell off.
Please.
Who else?
You lost to Philadelphia.
Who else?
You ended up beating them. I get that. You got stomped by San Francisco. You lost to Arizona, which was a win you should have had. I mean, come on now.
We lost to Arizona. Okay, what else?
I mean, Micah, he kind of cooking you right now. It's evident. He kind of cooking you right now. The games y'all were supposed to win, y'all won. But then y'all losing games y'all not supposed to lose. And when y'all playing competition, good competition, top tier competition, y'all wasn't winning those games. So, I mean, but I'm gonna let you rebuttal.
What else? I gave you a
Baltimore lost to Pittsburgh.
Excuse me. Lamar Jackson was balling all year long. And by the way, he crushed the competition. Went up against Detroit.
He had the number one defense. His defense won the Triple Crown. He had the number one defense in the NFL.
Dak Prescott had a top 3 defense. How about that?
Boom. Come on, Micah Parsons. You talking about Lamar had the number 1 defense. You were the leader of the defense that Dak had. So are you saying your defense was trash? Y'all defense was number 1 for the first half of the season. Y'all were the engine that made that team go. Then y'all got blown out by San Francisco, and y'all were never the same. Don't sit there and act like Baltimore's defense was that much better than y'all, because they weren't. By y'all standards.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. He had the number 1 defense. He had a Triple Crown. He had 3,600 yards.
You sitting here telling me that you believe that Dak Prescott should have been the league MVP?
I thought he should have had more votes.
Okay, we can make that.
I'm not saying the fact that he didn't have one first place vote.
Maybe because they waiting.
Y'all want y'all want to keep him under the bus. Y'all want to.
Who would you have given it to? When would you have given it to him? MVP. Lamar Jackson. You had Patrick Mahomes carrying that offense. Christian McCaffrey carrying that offense. That's 3 dudes I would not have given Dak Prescott the MVP over. Off rip, I would not have given him a first place vote over any of those 3. If all the first place votes went to those 3 individuals, no, he shouldn't have got an MVP vote. First place MVP vote. Now, after those 3, now you start to get into the Dak Prescott era. CJ Stroud, I could give him a first place MVP vote for what he did. Tyreek Hill deserved it. I can't agree with you, Micah. I can't.
They keep trying to bury that man.
Dak Prescott's under the bus?
Y'all trying to keep.
He
had the best QBR, led the league in passing. He had the best touchdown to interception ratio, besides CJ Stroud. Second to CJ Stroud.
You do recognize.
His QBR is better than Lamar. How does he not get a first place vote? His defense had won the Triple Crown.
I do acknowledge Dak Prescott deserves some MVP votes, but I will tell you this. He ain't even the best quarterback in Texas.
Oh my.
Oh.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, man.
Stephen A, I think you're a prisoner of the moment. I think you are a prisoner of the moment because CJ Stroud had a phenomenal year. I can't say he's already better than Dak Prescott. And the reason being, I think a lot of people did not anticipate or believe in what the Texans could do, myself included. So they weren't game planning for them like that. And because of that, the Texans took advantage. Not diminishing CJ Stroud's talents by any means whatsoever. But because of what he was able to do, I think you're elevating him over Dak already, and that's a prisoner of the moment take. Now, is he below Dak? No. Talent-wise, execution, I say he's on the same level. But the best, to be fair to Dak, I need to see more out of CJ. Right now, I'll say they are at the same level in the same echelon. Because, if we're being honest, CJ has the same amount of playoff wins as Dak. So I can't say he's better than Dak, but I damn sure can't say he's worse than Dak. And fact check me if I'm wrong if they have the same amount of wins. Dak may have one more playoff win, but I will say CJ has shown he can step up when he needs to. And was giving the league MVP and the number 1 overall Baltimore Ravens a run for their money in the first half of their game until Baltimore stepped up.
My gosh. They both had a great start. Dak won Offensive Rookie of the Year. CJ won Offensive Rookie of the Year. How can you say that? They both had a great start. They both had a great start. They both had a great start. You cannot do that.
You go sit here and say
Dak's rookie year, how far did he take the Dallas Cowboys?
well, they lost to Green Bay.
It doesn't matter.
Wrong.
He lost to Baltimore. They
No. It does matter, Micah. It does matter. Because when did he lose to Green Bay? In his very first playoff game? CJ won his very first playoff game, if I recall correctly. They made the playoffs, played Green Bay in his first game, and they lost. So off rip, CJ was better than Dak in the postseason because he won his first playoff game. Dak lost his first playoff game.
Is it the same way?
Right. Did he win? Did Dak Prescott win the playoff game that first year?
Yes, he did.
Did he? Did they win it the first year? I
think
they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
They lost to Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, I give you that.
No.
They had the same start.
No, they didn't. We just fact-checked it. They did not. And for those of y'all who don't believe me, I'll pull it up right here. Over there, they did not. They didn't play because they won the division. Green Bay came to Dallas and beat Dallas in Dallas. That was Dak's first playoff game, and he lost.
Don't do that, Steve.
I like that.
Don't do
I
that.
like that. But let me tell you this. Dak Prescott deserved MVP votes, but I don't think it's far-fetched to say he ain't even the best quarterback in Texas.
I think this.
I really mean that. I think CJ better right now.
That's opinionated.
Okay.
That you're due to your opinion. I won't argue your opinion. You're due to your opinion, but
you got a soft spot for Dak
That-
Prescott. Tell us why.
That is
Tell us why.
that is
Because
Stephen
it ain't
A's
just a
opinion.
damn football. Tell us about Dak Prescott according to you. He's a great guy.
he just
Style.
he does things the right way.
Does things the right way.
And
Why is Stephen
I
A
never did,
patronizing so much right now?
It was 2 times in my rookie year. I was tired. I'm just getting adjusted right. and I'm in my locker like,
Picture.
and he's like, yeah.
Side note, Micah Parsons. Did you not brush your hair this morning, my guy?
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
I'm just saying. You got the money. You know LeBron's number. And this is coming from a guy who's suffering himself, who just cuts this, which I need to do. You should have just brushed your hair a little bit better, my boy.
And
Black
like,
community
man,
thing.
like you're gonna have a really good career, but you gotta do all the little things. Like you gotta be alive. Like you gotta get going. Like you just give me that,
He covered his
vet
life.
to rook conversation. And then I never forget. It was like I was like, man, I gotta change my habits. I want to change my year. Like this was the time. I came into the locker room. I was like, man, I'm gonna get there around 6 a.m. I'm gonna get there early. Start my day, warm up right. Take care of my body, do things I gotta do. Dak was already in the coat, like he was already in the tubs.
Okay. Micah Parsons feels this type of way because that's his quarterback. I can respect that. That's your dog. That's your A1. I am okay with you coming to the aid of your quarterback. If that's your reason why you really feel Dak should have got MVP votes is because you're like, that's my bro, I know what he does, then I get it. That's your teammate. But you also have to be objective and understand why he doesn't get those votes based off his competition, based off essentially the narrative that the NFL pushes. Because I'll be honest with you, if Lamar didn't get it, it was going to CMC or Patrick Mahomes. And no shade to Dak. Had a hell of a season. Everybody talked about that defense more than his offensive play this entire season. That's the reason why Dak wasn't in the MVP conversation thoroughly. He was a candidate, had the numbers to back it up, but he wasn't there thoroughly because the defense is what made y'all run. You, sir, were in more MVP conversations over the year than Dak. And I vividly remember seeing that across the board.
That was he just He just do everything. And then he's the first one there. He's the last one to leave. He just, like,
All the right things.
He put a lot into the game.
Perfect quote during press conferences. Perfect outfit, by the way. Always got on the fly outfit.
They do.
The brother's a good-looking
He got
brother. But let me ask you this. Did you ever return the favor? Did you ever go up to Dak Prescott?
You need your pup. Need you to postseason. We know what she's going to do September through December. We ball you, but you know January when it counts. We need you, bro. You ever do that?
Until Dak then?
First of all, I don't know what the hell just happened to his voice. That shit was creepy. I didn't like it.
We always have a conversation. I'll be like, let's go for it. But let's go.
So you tell him, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Why you got to tell him, let's go for it?
Because like he said, let's go 11. He like, go get a stop 11.
Huh?
He says, same way you go, let's go get a stop 11. Go make a play 11. It's just encouragement. Team. What's team? It's a team sport.
I know.
I just think when y'all analyzing, y'all don't, I think so much falls on the quarterback. And
But we know this, Micah. Why are you doing that?
because y'all forget that it's so much other factors out there.
We didn't do that to Patrick Mahomes. We didn't do that to Lamar Jackson. We didn't do that to Josh Allen.
Not to the same
We didn't
extent.
do it to-
Not to the same extent.
Excuse me.
Not to the same extent.
Excuse me. Well, listen,
Not to the
it
same
wasn't better
extent.
postseason the way he did.
Not to the same extent.
You think? Hold it.
What are you talking about? Micah Parsons, what are you talking about? Do you know how often Lamar Jackson gets drugged through the mud? Because people say he can't play quarterback since he came into the league. He's been drugged worse than Dak. All people talk about Dak is, okay, what's he going to do in the postseason? They have been telling Lamar Jackson he isn't going to win at all. You had Troy Aikman back in 2019 post a tweet saying, people were saying, oh, Patrick Mahomes, he's done more than Troy Aikman in a third of Troy Aikman's games. And Troy Aikman tweeted back, call me when he has a third of my hardware. Here's the tweet. He now has that. So what can Troy Aikman do? What do you mean we don't hold these other QBs to this standard? I don't get what you're saying. That's exactly. They're still saying Lamar should change positions. What are we talking about?
You're implying that you think we're a bit cruel to Dak Prescott?
I did not say cruel. Look, he's trying to throw this.
All right, forget cruel. Are you thinking we're a bit too hard on Dak Prescott with his player performances?
I just think y'all analyze everyone differently.
What does that mean? You think we
Besides-
analyze Dak Prescott differently than everybody else?
Besides Patrick Mahomes,
Right.
what other quarterback in the AFC has accomplished anything to get more credit than Dak?
Joe Burrow.
Facts. Run that back.
Quarterback in the AFC has accomplished anything to get more credit than Dak?
Joe Burrow.
Facts.
Josh Allen.
Did he
Facts.
finish?
No. But they got
Doesn't-
further.
Did he finish?
Dak
It doesn't,
Prescott
it doesn't matter how far you get. If you're going home and you're not tearing the ring, it doesn't matter.
Boy, if you don't.
So you go to the NFC Championship.
It doesn't matter. If we get sent home, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's no different.
doesn't
than
matter.
Getting bounced in a wild card game.
It's no
Oh,
difference.
come on, man. That's ridiculous.
All you doing is
That's
get,
ridiculous.
you just getting more hope.
Micah Parsons, this is what I hate about that. You just asked, what has any AFC quarterback done more successful than Dak Prescott? Joe Burrow's made a Super Bowl. Josh Allen's made an AFC title game. Now you're saying that doesn't matter. No, that does matter. And I'm tired of people saying this. You asked the question, who's done more? If I get further than you in the playoffs, I've done more than you. I'm more clutch in the playoffs than you. What are we talking about here? And now you're saying it doesn't matter because you're getting sent home. You just get more hope. No, it matters because I got one step closer to my goal than you. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills were a far worse team than the Dallas Cowboys and got further than the Dallas Cowboys. In the last 4 years, this year they ended in the same round. Joe Burrow got to the Super Bowl. He already has a Super Bowl appearance under his belt. Lamar Jackson has an AFC title game under his belt. The furthest Dak has gotten to is the divisional round. That accounts for something. What are we discussing here? Imagine you trying to say Tom Brady is the GOAT, but all he ever did was make it to the divisional round. Or hell, I'll give you one better because I always thought Peyton Manning was better than Tom Brady. But you know what I couldn't say? I couldn't say Peyton Manning was more clutch than Tom Brady in the early 2000s because who was he always losing to? Tom Brady. Tom Brady was getting 2 Super Bowls. Peyton Manning was not. So when it came to the playoffs, Peyton Manning was not as clutch as Tom Brady until he finally got to his first Super Bowl in 2006. I could not deny that argument. So what are you talking about? It's the same. Even if Brady lost, Brady got somewhere that Peyton never did. Come on now.
Super Bowl champion, it does not. All you doing is you just get more hope. But if you are not the Super Bowl champion, it does not matter what you've accomplished. It doesn't matter if you're an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. It doesn't matter. If you're not the Super Bowl champion, it doesn't matter. You haven't accomplished anything. That does not. When it goes to the hall, when you go to the hall.
Not Stephen A. said that bullshit. I mean, it is though. You're comparing player to player. And now, if that player doesn't win a Super Bowl, they're not better than the player you're comparing them to. Even if that player made it further in the playoffs than the player you're trying to defend. Make that make fucking sense. When it's time for you to perform, if you don't perform well enough to get your team to win at the position of quarterback, then you're going to be criticized and scrutinized. It's the most scrutinized position in football. We all know this. You get the praise when you win, and you get the flack if you lose. So yeah, Dak is not better than Lamar. Dak is not better than Josh Allen. Dak is not better than Joe Burrow because he's not done more than them when it came time to be clutch. That's just a fact.
Hall of Fame. When you go to the Hall of Fame or you do anything, does it say made an NFC Championship final?
No.
It gives you a Pro Bowl, or All-Pro, and Super Bowl. Those are the only 3 things that they consider. They don't say, oh, you made it to the NFC Championship, you deserve this.
Bro.
If you do not win the big one, it does not matter.
I understand that.
Jalen Hurts' year went to shit once Patrick Mahomes won that Super Bowl last year.
Okay.
And guess what? Jalen Hurts is better than Dak Prescott. Yes. Jalen Hurts is more clutch than Dak Prescott. Yes. Yes. On this stream, in this video, I will stand on that. Jalen Hurts is better than Dak Prescott, or Jalen Hurts is more clutch than Dak Prescott in the postseason because he's made it to an NFC title game and a Super Bowl.
Lamar Jackson, year went to shit the moment that Patrick Mahomes beat him in the
But
AFC.
they got there.
It doesn't matter if you got there, if you don't win when you get there. That doesn't make sense to me.
You last week for Super Bowl?
I was at Pro Bowl.
Where were you after the Pro Bowl?
I was in Vegas.
What was in Vegas?
The Super Bowl.
Yeah, you think? Because that's center stage, it matters.
It does.
Right there. So
And if you don't win at that stage, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't. So, in other words, the 2-week period where you prepare for the Super Bowl, after you smoke somebody in a wild card game, after you smoke somebody in the divisional game, after you smoke somebody in the NFC Championship game, you try to tell me all of that doesn't matter because the big game you didn't finish?
Yeah. Yeah. What does it do? What does it do?
It says that you're an NFC champion. It says that.
Do you get a ring for that? Do you get a ring for that?
No, but I tell you this much.
You get a participation check and you get sent home. No parade, no nothing.
You asked me about
No parade, no nothing. I'm not giving out. I'm not giving participation.
That's what we doing now. So in other words, you're trying to tell me that
football.
You gotta see the
What,
NFC.
championship
The
game?
NFC is better than the AFC.
Was in the
I-
AFC Championship
I'm
game.
not giving.
Joe Burrow was in the
I'm not
Super
giving
Bowl.
participation.
participate. Well, they had to win to participate.
And you can honestly
They
say
win to participate in the Super Bowl.
you gotta see the
What,
NFC.
championship
The
game?
NFC is better than the AFC. It has been.
Is you dumb?
What did he say?
Say
Win to participate in the Super Bowl.
you gotta see the
What,
NFC.
championship
The
game?
NFC is better than the AFC. It has.
The NFC is better than the AFC. Now, statistically, I have to concede. The NFC has more Super Bowl wins than the AFC by 1, 29-28. So he is technically right. But to sit here and say it always has been,
How, Sway?
and when you sit here and talk about the greatest QBs of all time, 2 of the greatest QBs of all time played their whole careers or majority of their career in the AFC. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. 2 of the current greatest QBs in the league right now, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, AFC. Dan Marino, AFC. When I sit here and think about great QBs, to sit there and say it's always been the NFC, I'm going to concede and say that's not an argument. Statistically, the NFC is better than the AFC if we're counting only Super Bowl wins. But has always been? No, I can't say that. Especially not over the last 20-some-odd years. Because let's think about it. Since 2000, 6 of Brady's 7 rings came in New England. Peyton got 2 rings. 1 in Denver, 1 in Indy. Ray Lewis and the Ravens got 2 rings. So that's 10 right there. The Steelers got 2 rings. That's 12. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs got 3 rings. That's 15. 15 rings since 2000 have gone to the AFC. And to be honest, I feel like I'm forgetting one.
That's what we doing now. So in other words,
The NFC is better than the AFC. It has been.
That's what we doing now. So in other words, you're trying to tell me that Dak Prescott has had a tougher road than a Josh Allen or a Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes or somebody?
How can you say that when Patrick Mahomes has been dominant the last 5 years?
Okay, take out Patrick Mahomes. You trying to tell me?
Then what has anybody else? Then what has anybody else accomplished?
AFC title games.
Yeah, because people like.
Because people like me.
What has anybody else accomplished?
What about me? What did I do?
Because you're trying to take away Dak Prescott's career, but what has anybody else in the league accomplished besides Patrick Mahomes? It has been Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Brady, Patrick Mahomes.
So you can sit up there and to call yourself debunking the kind of substantive, factual content that people like me are providing.
It's
You're
true.
saying that Dak Prescott.
What have they done? What have they done?
They've done more than that.
Josh Allen almost made it to the NFL Super Bowl.
He made it to an AFC championship.
It doesn't matter. He couldn't beat the number 1 guy. It doesn't matter. He couldn't beat the number 1 guy. He couldn't beat the number 1 guy.
Joe Burrow beat the number 1
And
guy.
then he lost to Stafford.
No.
He lost to Stafford.
See, no. Nah, I got a problem with that. I have a huge problem with that right there. You said Josh Allen couldn't beat the number 1 guy. And Stephen A. came back and said, okay, Joe Burrow did it. And then you immediately said he lost to Stafford. No. You just lost your argument, bro. And that's goalpost moving. That is goalpost moving 101. You just lost your argument. Micah Parsons, I think you're a hell of a player. But I think your defense of Dak Prescott is not backed up by logic. Like, here's my thing. Micah Parsons, you're going to sit here and tell me that Dak has had a tougher road than Lamar, than Josh Allen, than Joe Burrow. You just said Patrick Mahomes is the number 1 guy. So going through the number 1 guy is the toughest road you can do. And that's not even the other steps you got to go through to get to him. Each one of those dudes have played Patrick Mahomes in an AFC title game. I get Dak is your man's, but now the road is easier in the NFC. Y'all be winning the NFC East every other year. You are the leader of that defense. Y'all have a great defense, and yet your offense doesn't show up. Hell, the last game that y'all played, your defense didn't show up. Y'all gave up 28 unanswered. And that was not on Dak. That was on you. So you know what that means? You're responsible for us talking about Dak like that because the quarterback is the position that gets the most scrutiny, that takes the brunt of everything. He is the face of the franchise. And when y'all lose, he has to take that L. So you're the reason why he's being talked about like this. If y'all give Dak a chance to prove to the world that he can beat this team, rather than giving up 28, maybe Dak is in an NFC title game for the first time in his life. Maybe y'all do go ahead and get y'all rematch with San Francisco and y'all win. And then you're playing in Vegas when it matters. Every step in the playoffs matter. When you lose in the playoffs matter. Everybody in the GOAT debate in the NBA, everybody used to talk about how Jordan lost first round to the Celtics. And LeBron up until, I want to say 2021 in the Lakers, had never lost in the first round. That was one of the marks on Jordan's record is he kept losing in the first round. Whereas everybody was saying LeBron's losing later on. He's either losing his conference semis or the finals. So obviously, in this debate, it matters to an extent. In the barbershop debates, the TV shows, this matters to an extent. When you lose in the playoffs, matter. If you are a number 1 team, if you are a top team in the league and you lose in the first round, you're stupid and you're trash. Cam Newton, all we talk about in the Panthers, man, we made one Super Bowl and we lost. Other than that, we couldn't beat the Seahawks for every year in the playoffs. We were losing there. And Cam started getting talks about, can you even win in regular season in the first round of the playoffs? When Cam was first starting to make the playoffs, everybody was asking, can he win in the playoffs? And for the longest time, we couldn't. 2015 happened, and we lost in the Super Bowl. But you know what? They can never say Cam didn't make a Super Bowl. If Dak Prescott does not win a Super Bowl, does not even make a conference title game, he will never be better than Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Cam Newton, because they all did something that Dak never did. That's just what it is, bro. That's just what it is. That's enough of that, guys. If you enjoyed this content, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that video. And hit that notification bell at the bottom. You know, it helps my algorithm as your auntie's favorite neighbor. Just got to know when I'm putting out these videos. Next, let's continue on this road to 500 subscribers. I thank each and every one of y'all. And lastly, comment below. Do y'all think Micah Parsons has a point here? Do y'all think Stephen A was making points? Do y'all think I'm making points? What are your thoughts? Football season's over, so we can have this conversation and whatnot. But with all that being said, guys, at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all of you. I'm out.